Hey, what's up guys? It's Monkavai here for MMOBomb.com, and today I'm going to do a first impression gameplay video for Legend of Edda, a recently re-released chibi MMORPG published by GamesCampus, and I'll spend about 15 minutes or so checking the game out, making my usual style of commentary. If you guys want to learn more about the game, I highly suggest you check down below at MMOBomb.com for the full game profile. So to get started with here, let's go ahead and just show you the character creation screen. Now, of course, we have two factions to choose from, or gods in this case, Olympus and Titan. If you can't guess which one's good and which one's bad, well, Olympus obviously looks like the better one, whereas Titan looks like they are the sinister slash devious slash bad individuals. However, Olympus does seem to favor not dressing up for battle, whereas Titan kind of makes a more logical choice. Let's go ahead and go with Titan there. Now, the game was originally released into open beta back in October in 2011. However, GamesCampus decided after a few months that the game wasn't living up to its standard of what they wanted, and so they decided to wait to re-release the game with better updated visuals, better updated interfaces, as well as gameplay and less bugs. The game was somewhat popular when it was originally released, but the developers felt that they could just improve upon it, and in order to do that, they needed to bring the game down. So it's now in closed beta again, and as you can see, we have three different base classes to choose from: the Fighter, Rogue, and Mage. Each of these classes at level 20 can differentiate into different things that are kind of the typical MMORPG, trifecta. We have the Mage, which can become a Wizard or a Cleric, which is of course DPS or healing; a Rogue, which can become an Assassin or Archer, which is, I guess, an Assassin slash Rogue again; and then Archer, which is range DPS. And then you got the Fighter, which can turn into a Swordsman or a Warrior, which essentially is a tank or a two-handed melee individual. Beyond this, you have your typical chibi, style of graphic options. You can do things like change how the character looks with their eye color, their hair color, hairstyle, and as well as face. But not really options beyond that. No height, no individual customization. Then again, this game is a little older and it is chibi based, so typically chibi games in general do not have those options. So if we go ahead and back out here, as you can see, I've already created Blarg here, which is my test character, but after I got this costume, I just couldn't get rid of him. So yeah, we're going to go ahead. He is just a warrior right now. We'll go ahead and jump in on him to show you the in-game features. Now, there's actually quite a lot of people currently playing in the game. It's only been a couple days since the beta was released, but I tried to play this or do the first look yesterday, and there were so many people it was actually lagging out the server. As you can see though, these guys are all wearing various little custom costumes, which is one of the more interesting features of the game. Is it has so many unique little costumes for you at such an early level. I mean, I'm wearing this unique costume itself, but as you can see here, I can go ahead and wear cosmetic as well as my normal items. Now, even the cosmetic items do give you improvements, as you can see, so you can kind of stack those along with your helmets and not actually worry about losing your awesome little costume stuff down here, which is, of course, my pig outfit, which gives me intelligence. I also going to have these eyeballs, which I find to be extremely interesting to look at. So yeah, enough of that. Let's just go ahead and jump in the game here. That quest is not complete. Let's go ahead and get in here and show you guys some of the combat. Now, the combat isn't anything special. In fact, you may notice that the game looks a little bit dated in terms of, what older, chibi MMORPGs look like. It definitely has this sort of Eden Eternal vibe to it. Your typical hotkey MMO, we're not in the Wizardry Online, Terra Online, Guild Wars 2 style of combat systems. We're here with the basic, tried and true classical combat system. One thing I do like is the fact that you don't have to hit any kind of key in order to pick up items. You can just go next to it, hit Q, and that will give the item after it dies. So you don't have to like double click or click on the individual mouse over. You just kind of run by and pick up all the items. So in this case, I finished these two quests, and I have to remove 3 more spotted prawns. Now, if I wasn't sure, palms does not look exactly like palms with that text squished so closely. So yeah, it's something to consider. I can't imagine they didn't do that on somewhat purpose, because I mean, look, they need to space out the R and the N. I mean, they space out the M so it doesn't look like an R and M, or just make it more legible. Wider or something. It's too thin, I can't tell. Anyways, enough of that. Let's go ahead and continue on killing 3 of these. Now, I did go ahead and do some of the introductory quests as well as some of the introductory fighting quests, and honestly, they're this. It's a lot of kill. Before I had to kill these spotted ones, I had to kill the normal ones. So you are dealing a lot with old style mechanics where you're just doing kill or collect quests. I also had another quest. This delivery of the gypsy pipes came from killing these guys again. So it's a lot of that. Now, if that doesn't bother you, if you don't mind doing that and you enjoy the aesthetics of this, then hey, you know, it's not going to be a problem. But if you're expecting, you know, really interesting or dynamic quests, sorry, it's a lot of this early on at least. Also, these guys somewhat remind me of Pokemon. Those were like the non-evolved versions, and then the spotted ones are like the evolved ones. Although I don't know really what it'd be derived from. They kind of look like gerbils mixed with like spotted cows, and I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Let's go ahead and turn these quests in. So, interesting enough, it looks like a brand new quest when you finish it, but when it's in process, it's a question mark, which is a little bit different from what I've seen in other MMOs. So, yeah, Palma Ambush. Doesn't look like that at all. Let's go ahead and just turn this in here. And we can go ahead and complete this other quest as well. So now we got to deliver these other ones and report to Guard Carson. Now, we get anything in our inventory of interest? Well, we have these other individual cosmetic items that I was able to accrue over time. But looks like we just got some more potions, and well as Fighter's Equip box, which is a levels 10 box. So I can open that up, which should actually have some equipment for me at level 10. Fortunately, though, I'm only level 3 at the moment, rather. Well, technically at the second, too. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish this quest here. Spots everywhere, and we get to actually choose our cloak, which we can only use one. The other two are for the other classes themselves. Now, go ahead and just equip that there. We can't actually see it because I do have these cosmetic items on. If I was to remove my pig outfit to show you what it looked like, basically, there we go. I would look like a some kind of kid that doesn't have any friends that goes out and plays knight in shining armor by himself. Yeah. So I think I like my costume better. Let's go ahead and put that back on. At least I get to be a little bit more unique. Let's go ahead and turn this quest over here, though, which is, I believe, the Pipes of Gypsy. Let's go ahead and hit space here in order to pick these up. And these guys are not even speaking in English as well, which is interesting. You know, they kept that in, but actually translated the text. Not sure if they're going to actually change that back into English, but it's interesting to note that as well. So let's go ahead. We've gone ahead and turned in those gypsy pieces, and let's go ahead and go to the temple now. Now, temple is way up in this area here, but I can click there, and it should automatically start taking me there. So it does have an auto path system. However, it does not auto path simply by clicking on an individual in the text, which some other Asian MMOs, Asian chibi MMOs as well, do that. So would I play this over, say, you know, Night Age or something like that, or Eden's, you know, Eden Eternal, something like those type of chibi MMOs? It does have 100 versus 100 PvP, and honestly, I haven't been able to do it since the beta just came out. And I wasn't playing, I never played the original, but I did hear that a lot of people did enjoy that aspect of it. So I'd say that, yeah, you could try playing for that, but keep in mind, other games like Night Age also have that style of large PvP. In fact, Night Age goes a step further by having that additional, more fluid mounted combat. But this definitely pulls on some nostalgia strings. This art style, this kind of camera perspective is where it's fixed like this, is a little bit, it reminds me of a lot of old games I used to play. So let's go ahead and just pick these up here and see what we got for our next quest. Yeah, so like I said before, when you pick up a quest, or maybe I may have not mentioned this, if you pick up a quest, it doesn't automatically kick you out of the screen. So what you actually have to do is close. So you may end up thinking that it's just getting you stuck there, which is a little bit of an annoying factor, seeing as most MMORPGs, once they're done giving the quest text, remove you from that quest screen unless there's another quest to pick up. So I've got to obtain 4 laurel leaves. Now if we look at here, if I go to L, I can actually find out where I have to go. So again, I've got to go back to the Spotted Palm on the Hill of Moan in Gaian Town. So I've got to go, again, kill the same guys, this time 4, because each one of them drops 1, in order to complete the quest. So very much the same type of MMOs over and over. Also, there must be some kind of events going on, because there's like caged animals all over the place here. As you can see, there's a caged bunny, and you can actually get him free. When I first saw that, I thought he was actually beating the bunny up. I did not realize he was saving it, I guess you could say. So we gotta head and pick up some more fighter skills. I'd like to know. Sure, you can go ahead and go to the barracks to actually check those out. Whoops, let's go ahead and exit out of that real quick. Actually opened up too much. Now, I've seen people here on all kinds of crazy mounts and whatnot. Look at that guy over there. He appears to be riding some type of giant dobby, which I guess is okay. This guy is a chicken. A feather chicken, like Native American faded, I don't know, whatever. And let's go ahead and come over here, talk to this guy, and find out some more skills. Right now I can only use 1 or 2, so let's go ahead and see if we can find some more. So learn fighter skills. So we got some different fighter skills to learn, but first let's go ahead and turn this quest, because I'm sure it's going to ask me to learn these fighter skills. So let's go ahead, and there we go. Got some extra gold here. Let's learn some fighter skills. Alright, so we've got one-handed sword, two-handed strike, two-handed swords, one focus strike, so I can learn the skill, but again, this is for two-handed sword, pretty much making it useless for me. I do not have a two-handed weapon. Ah, shield attack. So if we scroll down there, I can see I can also maybe get level 2. Nope, cannot get level 2. Any god powers yet? No god powers as well, so can't use those early on, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and take this shield attack. I'm going to go ahead and move that off there, because I cannot use these focus strikes, since they are for two-handed weapons, unfortunately. And I don't believe I actually have a two-handed weapon in my inventory. Oh, yes I do, if I can swap it. So there is a weapon swap inventory as well. Did not realize that. So you do have that option to swap in between the individual weapons. So you can swap between two-handed sword and a one-handed and keep them in the same spot without having to re-equip them every time. Nice to know that. Alright, so let's go ahead and try these other skills out here. We'll obtain these little leaves and then we'll probably conclude it from there. The most of the MMO you can probably gather the same way. That mount itself looks like it's from a certain game that uses warlocks, which have those kinds of mounts, and that is a caged elephant, it appears, a baby elephant. This game should not be shown to PETA. Let's come back over here really quickly and complete this quest. Check it out. We'll check out our other skills here. Now, if I actually click at K, I can see the actual skill list and skill window. There are skill points available. Those are actually what you use at that merchant, at that guy, in order to purchase new abilities. So it doesn't actually let you unlock new abilities through a skill tree by putting points into it. There is no skill tree. There's just these skills that you purchase by unlocking them through that guy with the skill points you get after joining. Ah, Sacred War. Why not? Let's go ahead and join in on this here. We're going to get queued up. This looks like some kind of PvP. Certainly would seem interesting to do it and see what the PvP is like. I do like the fact that it automatically opens up whenever it's about to start, which is always nice to see. And I believe I got to kill the spotted ones for this. So players waiting, 47. Now remember, this can be up to 100 players in PvP, although I'm not sure if it's 100 players at this low level, but we'll find out exactly. So let's go ahead and grab this, because I mean, I'm sure you guys don't want to see me kill these things over and over and over. So we have players waiting, 49, queue number 32. So I guess I have to wait for 32 people in front of me before I actually get in. Oh, that's terrible. So a lot of people actually want to try this out. It looks like it's first come, first join. Go ahead and drink some potions. Not really sure how the regeneration works here. Let's go ahead and keep killing this guy. Come on. There we go. Now, how do I use this? Hits your target for 5 AP turns, stunning them. Now, requires the shield. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm not using the correct one again. That's right. So let's go ahead and use the skills that actually matter then. So we hit 5 here. We can use our special abilities. I forgot that I actually switched between them. So you hit 5 here. I do a lot of damage with this sword. Alright, so I need one more, it looks like, to finish this off. So let's go ahead and use my spitty slashes. Get some kills out here in order to complete this quest. Alrighty. So we are done. So I do like the fact that it's like instantly I am able to pick those things up. There is no like random chance. It pretty much means that I get it almost every time. That may change in higher levels, keep in mind. But as far as lower level goes at least, it appears to be 100%. I'm not really sure how fast this queue actually takes for this to join, unfortunately. So we may end up not being able to play it if indeed takes too long. And, okay, so it's still there. Okay, so I'm still in queue. Still everything's fine. Still good to go. That would have been terrible if by zoning it kicked me out of queue. That would have been pretty terrible indeed. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue on delivering this to the temple, and then we'll go ahead and probably close it there for now. Now, every so often, every 10 minutes or so, you can claim an additional gift, and that gift does allow you to get, like, I believe, a health potion. So if you need to keep getting health potions, you can do so just by claiming this gift every 10 minutes or so. Beyond this, the features themselves are not that much different than what you expect. You have a couple of interesting features like the pet system, but the pet system itself is not that much different from the pet systems available in other MMORPGs, honestly. So you're not going to have any kind of surprise playing this game. If you enjoy this type of game, then certainly it is not a bad game. But if you're expecting something new or something that you have not played before, you're going to be sorely disappointed, I have to say. So let's go ahead and pick all these up here and get those, and I've leveled up. Not bad at all here. So now level 4 with my awesome little costume here. Let's go ahead and jump out. Unfortunately, doesn't look like we're going to be able to join this. Maybe in the future we'll come back and take a look at that. But as for now, this guy here is like naked with a horned helmet. Alright, as for now, this has been Spunkify here. Oh man, it's like my inner personality coming all out. It's like my aura. Ugh! This has been Spunkify. This is a weird game. I'll see you guys next time. Spunkify out. Later, guys.